Dallas Cowboys, 2026 contenders or pretenders?
So I would say they have a worse record than last year.
So
Doesn't mean
that,
they're worse.
but that's fully under pretenders.
Yeah.
So Sam, on record, Cowboys pretenders.
Whoa.
So I am gonna have to disagree. I
Oh.
am not a Cowboys fan, so it pains me to say this, but I have to say Cowboys 2026 contenders.
I wouldn't say contenders so freely. Would you put them like do you consider them on the same level as the Chargers?
Um, Similarly,
I love the Chargers,
I
but they're not contenders.
so
Contenders means Super Bowl contenders. Like for example, San Francisco, Baltimore. Like those are
I mean
contenders.
these are some strange teams you're picking for contenders here.
What do you mean?
Uh, but
Baltimore
but
has
yeah,
a
so
chance.
so we're back coming up with another NFC East team. We
Yeah.
previewed the Eagles the other day, and now we're coming back with the Cowboys. So just kind of looking at how they're shaping up for this season, what we can expect from their offense, their defense, changes in coaching staff, all that. And so I think just going on record, so you don't think that they're playoff bound?
No.
I think that they are. When we talked about the Eagles, I said the Eagles I thought had about a 50% chance to win their division. I think the Cowboys have the best chance to steal it from them this year.
I would put Dallas below New York.
All right.
I put Washington the lowest, but I want them to win the most. It's just they have so many injuries and their defense isn't like fully. They got some weapons and they got like Sonny Styles, but like still you don't want to just bet everything on it. But they have a tough schedule. They play Baltimore, Houston, Green Bay, San
So,
Francisco.
and we're talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Seattle, the LA Rams. They play the Jaguars, like, and they play their division. And I'd give them a split between each team. I'd say they go 3-3 in their division.
Yeah, I think the division is going to be tougher. I think pretty much everyone, well, I think that Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders have all improved. I don't know that I would necessarily say that with the Eagles, but
Their
the
wide receiver
rest,
room has kind of improved a
I
bit.
think the rest of the division has gotten better, and that certainly does make those games a challenge for the Cowboys.
And it's not anything against the Eagles. They just made the playoffs and they just won a Super Bowl like 2 seasons ago. Like they're still good. It's just they're really good and they didn't really need to improve very much.
So when we look at the Cowboys, the biggest weakness last year was the defense.
Yeah,
They got rid of their defensive coordinator, and I think that he has to take a lot of that responsibility. The whole uh, circus with Parsons, I think that was a missed opportunity. I think he was a key player that they should have had out there. I think that with how much time they spent delaying a resolution, that hurt them and prevented them from winning games early on that they could have. I think they could have been a playoff team last year, but
yeah.
that debacle I think cost them. So new defensive coordinator, new scheme, not a whole lot of huge changes, but some changes to the team overall. But I think that change with the coaching is going to help. I think that their head coach, going into
Yeah.
year two, I think that that's going to be better as well with
Um,
Schottenheimer.
but looking at their schedule last year, they didn't have the like necessarily a toughest schedule, but they allowed 30 plus points 9 times,
Hmm.
including a 40-40 tie against Green Bay.
Right.
And I don't think they didn't win a single one of those games where they allowed more than 30 points.
So do we want to talk defense first or offense first?
We can talk about the offense because I feel like you want to give the good news before the bad news.
We could do that, and I think last year was a clear case of one part of the team being extremely dominant, one of the best in the league, and the other being one of the worst.
I mean, they put up
Really,
17 points against the Cardinals and lost.
really two. But that was an exception to their season, and that was a game where we really saw Walter Nolan show what he was capable of. He was very disruptive, but that wasn't the Cowboys on a consistent weekly basis. So yeah, let's look at the offense. Uh, Last year, everything, barring a few games like the Cardinals, overall throughout the season really seemed to go well for them. The offensively, they put up yards, they put up points, and a lot of players had great seasons. Is,
I would say they had some good seasons. I mean, they got George Pickens. He was really big. Like when CeeDee Lamb went down,
yeah,
he really took over as wide receiver one. But going into next year, there's gonna be, usually in the second year with some people, they might see a little bit of a fall off. I don't know if we're gonna see that with the Cowboys. But Prescott, he's really known for being injured, and we really got to see what he was like when he wasn't injured. So if he doesn't, if he doesn't get an injury, I personally, right now, I put him as a top 12 quarterback. He had a very good season last year. And it helps that he has CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who are two of the best receivers right now. You have Javonte Williams coming into zone. You have Ferguson getting some catches in there. I mean, he really had a lot of people that would just help support him. I mean, not necessarily the O line all the time, but he really had a lot of talent around him.
yeah. So I think that you hit on a lot of things there. Prescott is someone that I also think is a really good quarterback. Neither of us had him in our top 10, but I'm with you. He's right outside the top 10. And, if someone that I didn't list were to have a top 10 season, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Dak. So I think he's got the ability to do that. I think he has all the tools, like you mentioned, how big Pickens was. To have basically two number one wide receivers in Lamb and Pickens uh, is so dynamic for the offense. It makes it almost impossible for the defense to be able to stop you. Javonte Williams, a lot of people counted him out, thought that he really wasn't going to do much, kind of questioned the Cowboys' decision to pick him when there might have been some bigger names out there. But I think he proved that he deserved, that they made the right choice, that he deserved to be the one.
Yeah.
And Ferguson has really been a great tight end for him too. I think the offensive line is solid. I think they've got some good players there, so I think that really all combines. And I think if anything, the offense is going to be just as good, if not better, than last year when it was already one of the best. So I think that they'll definitely be able to put up points. I think the biggest danger I see for them would be if um, if Williams gets injured. I don't really see a lack of depth at running back behind him, and that would definitely make them a more predictable offense,
Yeah.
and so that would be a big blow if anything were to happen to him. I think the lack of depth there is the biggest thing, but I think their offense is really good. Um, and so, yeah, that was the good news, like we talked about. So, if that was the good news and the defense was the bad news, did did the defense get worse? Did they get better? Are they going to be the same? What do we
I
think we're
wouldn't
going to see?
say worse or really better, like the same. It's just like I'd say they get a little bit better. And it's not necessarily bad news, it's just still not very good. Like you got some people, but it's just still it's like there's a lot that needs to be addressed there. And if they want to win, they're gonna need to do full just rebuild to the defense.
Yeah,
Like they got some guys like Caleb Downs, they got Quentin Williams, and that's big for them. But that they're not gonna just make the defense elite, and it's
yeah.
just
I don't think we're going to see an elite Cowboys defense, but I think Williams, like you mentioned, is going to be big.
they're gonna be
Um,
competent.
I think Caleb Downs is going to be a really big uh, playmaker, a big difference maker for their defense. When he's out there, you're going to know it. You're going to see what he can do. I think an underrated signing was Jalen Thompson. I think he's going to help with the secondary as well. I think that maybe not a big splash or big splashes in free agency, with a lot of players, but I think they improved it. And I think that you don't have to have an elite defense with the Cowboys. I think if you can put out a defense that's going to hold their own and kind of just slow down the opponents,
Yeah,
that's going to be enough.
yeah,
More often than not, I mean, not every week, but I think more often than not, that's going to be enough for the Cowboys to be able to win. So, yeah, I don't think that they're top five or maybe even top 10, but I think that it's a competent defense or, one that's showing signs of improvements, paired with a, uh, one of the best offenses in the league. And one of the things that we don't really talk about too often, or at least we haven't in previews so far, because a lot of teams have kind of average special teams, is, with the Cowboys, their special teams can win them games.
yeah. They've got one of the most, like one of the best special teams just group, especially with Aubrey anchoring that. Just you can rely on him to get kicks basically from anywhere.
Yeah,
Like, you'd obviously don't want to go for 60 yards, but like he's got the leg, he's got the strength, and he's kind of quick with it too. Like they're like the three big kickers, and Aubrey is just he's really hitting on all cylinders. And honestly, I'd put him above I put him above Cam Little, and I forget the other guy like uh the Chargers one. I forget his name, but I'd put Aubrey above them both. He's just a very good elite kicker. And as an alt football fan, seeing one of the homegrown talents be in the NFL and being on top, it's very nice. If only he weren't playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
yeah, absolutely. I think that he is the best right now, and I think that he is gonna win games for him. I think that's gonna really help the Cowboys out this year. And I think, the Chargers, you're thinking of Cameron Dicker.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, he's Dicker the kicker. But yeah, so I think that for me, I think the offense is going to win games and the defense is going to not lose games for them like they did last year.
yeah,
So I think that combination for me with the defensive coach is a young guy. But I think it's a situation where maybe new ideas, just something different from what they were doing. You can't, like Jerry Jones said, you can't do any worse than we did last year. So it's all up from there. And I agree
yeah.
with that. So, they really can't do worse. So I think that we're going to see an improvement there.
So, I want to get this out. So, what's your ceiling for the schedule? What do you think their best record could possibly be? Because I'm gonna say 10 and 7 is their highest that they could go, and their floor is 5 and 12.
So for me, I think I would say like 12 wins would be
Ooh.
like this ceiling. Uh,
You see their schedule?
Maybe 8 wins is kind of their floor for me.
Do you want to
Yeah,
see their schedule?
yeah, I've looked at the schedule and they do play some tough games. But I think that they're gonna be good this year. And
They on December 7th, they go to Seattle,
hmm
and then after their bye on the 20th, they go to the Rams.
hmm
Two back-to-back NFC West Titans.
Yeah, those
And
those are gonna be two tough ones.
and in that chunk, they play Eagles, Seahawks, Rams, Jaguars. They ain't winning a single one of those games. Probably the only one that is winnable is against the Eagles. And before you say it, the Jaguars are good.
I think the Jaguars are good, but I think the Cowboys are good too.
I would put the Jaguars at they are like they could be the conference champions. They could get that high.
hmm
And Dallas is like a wild card team. Dallas,
Well, I think we'll have, some hot takes here soon. We'll put those together. But maybe a little tease, maybe you'll see the Cowboys on there. Uh, but
maybe if you put it there.
but yeah, I think this is a team that's going to be battling with Philadelphia for the division all season, and I think has a really solid chance to steal the division. Make the playoffs, make a run in the playoffs. Dak's not getting any younger, so he's kind
33.
of reaching that point where he's seasoned. He knows what he's doing out there, and he still has the athletic ability to get it done too. So I think. A lot of things are going to come together, and they're going to have a chance to put a real good season together.
Yeah. Um, So do you just want to end it there? I mean, we've talked a bit about it. I don't think there's much
Yeah,
to say.
I think that covers it pretty well. Your thought is that losing record. My thought is winning record. So I think that pretty much covers.
You just always gotta be against me. You,
Well, I think a lot of teams so far we've been closer in our thoughts. I think this is the biggest um, difference that we've seen in the teams so
other than the
far.
Patriots,
Yeah, I mean that might have been similar too, but yeah, I think that
I mean, I think we're good here. I
yeah,
mean,
I think that's gonna wrap it up, and when the season wraps up, one of us will have bragging rights, and
mm,
we can one of us can eat crow then.
yeah, that'll do it.
All right, thanks.